Happy wife, happy life. Let's talk about it. The indoctrination, I want to say, of your wife being happy through ways of you making her happy has become popular in society for many years now. So to the point where I started a conversation about it. Now to my understanding of the reason why this has become a thing. Now, when we look at somebody being happy, we think about somebody who has paid money to go into a comedy show because they're there to laugh. However, the comedy show turns out to not give them the quality of comedy that they paid for, thus not making them happy. When you look at trying to make your wife happy in order to have a good life, you have to be an outstanding comedian for the remainder of your marriage, which is for life. Now, we have to understand why the person who needs this to happen needs this consistency of comedy. What is going on inside, really, that you would need to consistently keep someone laughing? That's what we have to think about. That person inside of this person, they are battling with a lot of things that are not making them happy. And this consistent battle that they are having within themselves has nothing to do with you. The battle that they're having inside, they have to figure out how to tackle all of these issues that they're having. Now, to just sit here and say that someone is miserable without knowing what's causing them misery is not logical. So I don't want to say that the person is miserable, because we're speaking about many people who may run into this message. But the illogic or the promotion that happiness comes by way of someone else could be sitting inside of this person's understanding of relationships, by way of the promotion that you're only happy because somebody's making you that way. Let's talk about happiness just for a moment. I want to say happiness itself is an emotion. It's not a way of life. Now, when I say happiness is not a way of life, there may be a lot of comments that come by way of disagreement, because what has been indoctrinated is that if you live a happy life, you have a more fulfilling way of life to live. So to come along and say happiness is just an emotion, it's not a way of life, causes a lot of people to turn away from that logic. But let's dig deeper and not scratch the surface with this one. When I say happiness is an emotion, that's because happiness is an emotion. Or when you type happy in your phone, an emoji wouldn't come up. a person would. If you were given $10,000, you would be happy. But then somebody came along and said, oh, that $10,000 I gave you, it was somebody else's. You would not be so happy. That's what happiness is. It's an in and out type of process. So to think for a minute that you have to consistently keep this emotion at bay is illogical. So to say happy wife, happy life is really redundant. Because never will your wife be happy by way of you trying to make her happy if she's not already happy inside. That's the logic that needs to be pushed through the airways. Because some 13-year-old girl somewhere is being told that her husband needs to do everything to make sure that she smiles. And that 13-year-old boy who would come into a relationship with her is being told that he needs to do everything in his power to make sure that she smiles. So it almost is though is almost as like that we're only saying that one person in a relationship is more important than the other person. That's where the misery comes from within side of the men. Because you're consistently trying to push happiness in another direction and you're taking it away from yourself. It gets deeper than that, but I'm going to leave it right there until I get some responses, until I get some comments, until I get some feedback on this, and then I'll come back with another video.